Satisfied with your bank? Have you considered a credit union? Midwest America offers about any service you need. The convenience of free mobile banking, debit cards, ATMs, free online banking and bill payer, competitive loans, mortgages, and more. Deposits insured to $500,000. Hey, consider this an invitation. Your next bank should be a credit union. Midwest America Federal Credit Union.
Midwest America Federal Credit Union.
Two of the NAIA's best defenses squared off in a top 10 matchup, but it was the Cougar defense recording 2 defensive touchdowns in the 38-29 win over Robert Morris.
Well, our defense is playing great football right now. And I will compliment Robert Morris. I think they're an outstanding team. Maybe the best we've played so far. It was a tough environment. The wind was a factor in the passing game. Their defensive line was the best we've seen. A lot of pressure, very athletic on the back end. And what they were doing in coverage told us we had to run the football. And at halftime, we decided, how we were going to go about that. And, we got to take what the defense has given us, so we did that.
The Eagle defense surrendered some big plays, and to start the second half, with St. Francis down 14-7, quarterback Nick Ferrer found Seth Coate on a 55-yard strike that resulted in a 21-yard Ryan Nix field goal. On the ensuing possession, the USF defense stepped up when linebacker Spencer Coward returned an interception 64 yards for a touchdown, giving the Cougars back the lead 17-14.
Oh, that was definitely a big play in the game. And, it was kind of a blessing. He sat the first half because of the previous week. So he had fresh legs, and he came in and was a real boost to the defense, made the play that I thought was a turning point. Even though that it was a slugfest down to the final 2 minutes, Nashawn's interception right at the end nailed the coffin. Without that, I thought we still would have won the game, but it made it a little more comfortable. But I give a lot of credit to our defensive players. Boy, they were playing so hard. Coaches prepared them well. Offensively, we got to handle the pressure a little bit better. And, we had 2 quarters where, it was a difficult throw with the wind. We're a big play team, and it affects the long ball. So, and again, you put that with pressure. We overcame a lot of adversity in that ball game.
On the second offensive possession in the second half, the Cougars turned to redshirt freshman Justin Green, who broke off a 42-yard touchdown on the first play of the series, more than doubling the rushing yardage of the first half.
We caught him in man under, two man under, and we got into our goal line package and had motion with the jet sweep motion with Cody, and the defender that was in support on the outside went with the motion man, so there was nobody on the edge. So it was a great call, well executed, and obviously turned on the gas and made a great play, and that was a huge touchdown.
The offensive line blocked great. Cam Smith had a great block on the corner, so I give all credit to my teammates and all the blocking that they had on that play. Wouldn't have done it without him. So we just had to get our groove on, I guess. Just getting our assignments. I guess they didn't come out in the defense that we were expecting them to come out with. So we just had to make some adjustments and stuff like that.
Green leads a very talented group of running backs, averaging 71 yards per game.
Well, he's playing well. He's a very talented young man. We feel like we've got a good core back there. So, whoever's got the hot hand, in big ball games, that's who you've got to feed the ball to. So he was running well. He has such acceleration downhill. And it seemed to be like the right tool for the situation.
The Cougar running backs have a combined 18 touchdowns on the season. Everyone has at least 4 touchdowns, and nobody has more than 5, which means you have to be ready when your number is called.
It keeps me motivated. It keeps me just always want to just work hard, because you never know how much playing time I'm gonna receive and things like that. So just it's motivation to me. I like to, as soon as I see a hole, I just like to hit it. And if I see a defender, I just gotta put my head down and just keep the feet moving. So I've always been taught that ever since I was little. I kind of wait for the holes to open and create it and stuff like that. And because our offense has schemes and stuff like that, so you gotta be patient sometimes.
Green was forced to be patient a year ago when senior Antoine Campbell was finishing off a great career that included 3,155 yards rushing and 34 touchdowns. And during that time, Green absorbed as much information as he could from the veteran running backs.
Antoine helped me out, you know, telling me like how the offense was running. Same with Aaron, Nico, and all those guys. So, and with Coach too as well, you know, he's a great coach, teaching us, you know, where to carry the ball at and stuff like that, and which hand to receive and stuff like that. So, St. Francis has taught me a lot. So,
with such an eclectic group of running backs, Green breaks down each player's strengths, starting with junior Aaron Harris.
I think Aaron Harris, he's hard-nosed. He's bigger and stronger type of guy out of the four of us. So he's just a hard-nosed guy that likes to just run with his head down, runs hard.
True freshman, Tyrone Young.
Tyrone, I think Tyrone is similar to Aaron Harris. He's hard-nosed. He runs hard like he's mad and angry all the time. So, yeah, pretty much the same as Aaron.
Another true freshman, PJ Dean.
PJ always, you know, tries to fight for extra yardage. PJ, he's a patient runner. He likes, you know, for the holes to get developed and stuff like that. You know, and he likes to hit the hole with a nice burst too as well. So I think me and PJ have similar styles, and Aaron and Tyrone have similar styles. So
Green definitely has a style that's his own. He's from the Chicagoland area, then moved to Las Vegas before settling down in Griffith, Indiana, where he graduated high school. This past offseason, he took a job as a car salesman and thrived doing so. Even with the success, Green couldn't get football out of his mind.
Well, first job it was very enjoyable, but it was pros and cons to it. I think when I had the job, when it comes to being a car salesman, it's a full-time job. There's not such thing as a part-time. So me going to work every day, you know, it seems like I was just growing up too fast, and you know, and I was thinking about football and stuff like that. So if I could go back and change that, I'd rather just go and just, you know, work out and do football, because, you know, I can always go back to selling cars. You know, football is just only not a one-time opportunity, but it's limited. So so that's really what I learned.
Well, after the bye week, the Cougars learned they have jumped up one spot from number 7 to number 6 in the top 25 rankings. The top 4 teams all have one loss, while Doane, St. Francis, and Reinhardt are still undefeated. Before the latest poll came out, Coach D reflects on the top 25 situation.
You know, there's not an explanation for it. I mean, you know, coaches are voters, and I'm one of those voters. I had us a bit higher than number 7. You know, I thought we should have been in a number 3 spot. Maybe higher. I thought we might even get a first place vote, even though that I did not give it. Reinhardt had a big win. They're obviously hot right now. They're getting a lot of love, and you know, they jumped us a spot. But you know, if you look from number 4, which is Grandview, down to number 7, which is us, they're 8 votes away. So there's not much of a spread between 4 and 7. You know, and at this time of the year, you know, you've got some big games. We've got most of ours over. We have one conference game left on the 14th in Missouri. We'll have to take care of there. But there's some other big games that are teams that are ranked ahead of us yet. And sometimes, you know, we're off this week, and you know, a bye week. Sometimes you can move. Benedictine moved 5 spots with a bye a week ago, and then we turn around. Marion had a bye last week. They jumped a spot. So a lot of crazy things will happen in this next 3 weeks.
Coach Donley's vote for number 1 went to Southern Oregon.
Well, they're the defending national champions. They've beaten Carroll twice, you know, and that's not even though Carroll's down this year, that's a tough order. Now they've got a big challenge coming up here with Montana Tech and Eastern Oregon, so they got some big ball games ahead of them yet. Morningside still has Doane. Now Doane got a first place vote, which kind of surprised me. I haven't seen the voting grid yet. But you know, you've got to give a lot of love to undefeated teams. There's 3 undefeated teams in the country right now, and we are one of those. And then Reinhardt obviously is still undefeated, and then Doane in the GPAC. So, you know, all those teams are deserving of being up there in the top 5. Not all of them are.
Up next, the Cougars face a team in its inaugural season, College of Faith.
They're struggling. You know, their team is struggling. You know, we'll dominate them. What we've got to do right now is not worry about the other team. We've got to worry about ourselves. The key thing that we have to do is stay healthy, get well, stay healthy, and we have to continue to improve. We cannot be satisfied with where we are because other teams are going to continue to improve. You get into postseason play and you kick that thing into neutral for 3 weeks, and you're going to have a setback. So it's important that all of our players understand that, and that this week is heal the body and refresh our memory on schematics, fundamentals, and then next week a lot more of the same. And then we got to get ready for you know, a football team that's improving in MOVAP. So, and then you're in the playoff. So over the next month, we've got a lot of improving to do.
Coach Donley looks for improvements in all facets of the game.
The whole thing. Offense, defense, special teams. We're very, very good. But we want to be the best in all 3 phases of the game. So, you know, you got to eliminate the schematic errors, and then you got to be able to take the one-on-one battles. We didn't get hurt in schematics at Robert Morris. We got beat in some one-on-one battles. So we've got to do a better job with fundamentals and technique and improve.
Not all of the Cougar football players have come from winning traditions, which has made this season something special for Green.
No, didn't have that at Griffith, but it feels great to be on this team, being 8-0, and you know, just with the teammates too. I wouldn't want to do with any other teammates. You know, I love everybody on the team, coaches, staff, all that. So